Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, Veena.
Good evening for all ladies and the gentlemen. As the Youth Forum, Nautical Institute Sri Lankan branch, today we are here to conduct one of the interesting topic currently, which everyone is giving their attention on. So now women could find a role in running ships at the time, but it was not common previously, since the maritime field was reserved for the men only. So, but the time has changed now, and on the topic of the woman in maritime, today webinar will be expect to give time awareness and find awareness for the young females and also the young males who willing to join this maritime field. So we are conducting this session with distinguished three key speakers. One is a captain and who's a well-known captain from the Mercmarine, and one key speaker who is from the Sri Lankan Navy as a lady lieutenant commander officer, and here also we have the distinguished Mr. Lalith Ekanayake from the Mercmarine participating. So the session is we are going to conduct with the questions and answer. So my first question I would like to give for the Capt.Rohan Codipilly. So if I give us some introductions about the Capt.Rohan Codipilly, he is the consultant on the marine human resources and training with over 43 years of experience in the marine industry. He joined the Nautical Institute in 1991. Currently, he is vice chairman of there. And he also the director of Mercantile Shipping Company PLC and the trustee of the National Union of the Seafarers Trust. And also he was the COO from Mercmarine Group of Companies and the former CEO of the Mercantile Marine Management and managing director of the Asia Marine Colombo and the managing director of the Mercantile Seaman Training Institute, MSTI. So here my first questions raising for the our distinguished guest speaker, Capt.Rohan Codipilly. As a seafarer is conventionally a men's world, many women fear to take it up as professions still. So what kind of guidance you can give the young females who is watching over this to break up this barrier?
Thank you, Veena, for that, I would say, generous introduction. To answer the question that you posed, things are changing when it comes to women in most jobs, particularly in shipping. There is an active move, I would say, to include females or lady seafarers, because the whole world is now looking at gender equality. So particularly, I would say in the last 10 years or so, there's been an active effort. And in the last few years, all the companies that I know of are very anxious and very welcoming to any young girl or lady who is looking at joining a ship. That in itself is very encouraging, because without going to knock on doors, the doors are already open, inviting you in. And we see this in all ranks. We also, though it is not very much known, we've had lady seafarers in the industry for a while, particularly in the Western world. I personally know of ladies who've been masters, engineers, deck officers, and who've even come ashore and are superintendents and lawyers, and quite a lot of them. I come back to the question of gender equality, which is really the driving force. And you would see in all types of social media that the welcomingness, if I say, of ladies is very significant. I think Mr. Ekanayake could also say something on this. Lalith, how do you see that?
Yes, to add on to it, the things have been changed in the recent past. Every conference or an event which is related to manning, training, or even it is not related to the shipping, the topic is widely discussed. So the more and more the ship owners are looking to give the opportunities equally for female seafarers.
Beyond that, I would also like to say there is concrete works that have been done. For instance, there are guidelines which have been drawn up by the International Chamber of Shipping and the ITF as to how to encourage and how to address the issues that lady seafarers have and could have. Companies are designating people purely to look after the welfare of lady seafarers. So there are really active efforts and programs which have all kicked in the last, I would say, 5 to maximum 10 years. Is that encouraging enough?
Yes, I think now when it's compared to the 2015 year, like 2015, now the female seafarers are getting increased, and a lot of support we are gaining from the companies as also from the institute as well. Since it's now conducting the regulation from the STCW and also from the MLCs and other organizations, also giving the awareness about the maritime field for the female. Now the uptake for the female, this field is getting increased.
From the training side, I used to know that Mercmarine used to offer scholarships for young girls to go to sea. I'm not aware. I think some other companies as well are offering scholarships as a way of encouraging young people to go to sea. And it's not only the initial training. As far as I'm informed, there are other scholarships available worldwide. So that's another, let me say, a concrete way of encouraging young girls to come to sea.
To add on to it, locally, even the ILO is working with NUSS, is sponsoring female seafarers So the two seafarers, they already sponsored. One is already on board due to sign off, and other one is getting ready to start the first sea phase. They are the rating. Interesting is, so the currently on board female seafarer. So she is the first rating seafarer from Sri Lanka.
As far we got to know about all these informations, now we can see how the women in the maritime field are getting increased. So I think I got a good explanation for the first question from the Capt.Rohan Codipilly. So my next questions will be raised for the lady officer from the Sri Lankan Navy, who is the Lieutenant Commander from the Sri Lankan Navy. So before I raise the questions, I will give a brief introductions about the Lieutenant Commander Anuradha Perera. She's the Lieutenant Commander, and she's joined in Sri Lankan Navy 2008 after completing of the higher education at Colombo University, and she has completed her basic training in Naval Maritime and Academy in the Trincomalee, and also she has followed the sub-lieutenant logistic course in India, naval ships Himla, located in the Mumbai. And then a year later, she is qualified in the long logistic management in the Pakistan naval ships Karsas in Karachi in 2018. And she has held a staff officer appointment, procurement, and assistance area staff officer appointment in the various naval command. Now, presently, she is a lieutenant commander. Here, I'm inviting you to give your distinguished guest speak on my raising next questions. So here my question for the Lieutenant Commander Anuradha Perera. What is your experience on board as a female lady officer in Sri Lankan Navy?
Good evening, everyone. First, I would like to thank Ms. Veena for giving a boost introduction about me, and I must thanks to Nautical Institute and Sri Lanka Navy. They given a valuable opportunity to participate this event. I joined the Sri Lanka Navy Gajabahu in last couple of months. Within the short time period of the, I get new experience, challenge working as a seafarer. And recently we went to voyages to Karachi for logistic requirements in the government. And within this passage, I experienced how I work with the male-dominated field. I felt that I have sufficient knowledge about my job, and I went go through, and I although accept my knowledge and experience about my job role, I understand and experience that command, teamwork, adaptability, and adaptability in any situations, hardworking, and physical mental stamina is very much required to work with the male. They are in majority. If we haven't confidence about ourselves, they can't given they can't given, and we should have to gain with experience at sea. Those are my experience which I got in the last couple of months when I work at sea.
Okay, Lieutenant Commander Anuradha Perera. I think we got a quite enough answer for that. So we know that there was a myth, women are afraid of work in the male-dominated industries because they are afraid to physical work or get dirty. But now we have the good example as you here to show the society that what women are capable of. And so my next question I will raise to the Mr. Lalith Ekanayake, our key speaker. So if I give a brief introductions about the Mr. Lalith Ekanayake, he had started his career as a deck cadet officer in 1983 and have sea experience until 2004 from 1983. So and he has joined the MMM, Mercantile Marine Management in 2004. And with his 19 years of crew management experience, presently he is in the profession as the COO of the Mercantile Marine Management Limited and the director of the MSTI Marine Academy, and he's the director of Asia Marine Colombo as well. And he's a member of the Nautical Institute. Also, he's the trustee of the National Union of Seafarers, Sri Lanka. So here my first question I will raise for the Mr. Lalith Ekanayake, our key speaker. When it comes to the job opportunity of the female seafarers, some companies are still not hiring the female for their vessels. So how we can say young female can obtain equal opportunities as men in this field?
First of all, thank you very much, the Nautical Institute Youth Forum, for inviting me and given the opportunity to address this forum. As soon as I was invited, I thought it is a bit premature, but then within the last 2 weeks, I realized I think this is the right time the Nautical Institute Forum is conducting this session. The answer to your question, yes, the women are only 2% of the world maritime workforce. The reasons, what we think and what we have heard from some of our clients is because the female seafarers, they have the less career opportunities. And also sometimes they back out. So these are the bad experience they are having. And also in halfway through their career, they are looking at other jobs. And then they also develop a negative mindset about the job opportunities because of the less number of women seafarer representation in the world. And also because of this reason, though years and years it has been discussing this gender equality, it has come a long way. And because of these reasons, could be one of the factors some ship owners are still reluctant, because they think when there are women seafarers, you have to give more security on board, more the policies to be drawn, and then they have to be provided with the paid maternity leave, and then whatever the previous experiences bad, what they have faced. But the IMO has taken the great initiative to increase women representation in the maritime, shore-based, and seagoing, both. Yeah, this is also the reason the IMO declared 18th May as International Day of Women in Maritime. Now the situation is changing. So the ship owners and the ship managers want to support the IMO initiative. So therefore, with our experience, few of our leading clients always want us to move forward on this discussion and getting more and more female seafarers employed. In other side, the numbers are increasing, as you said, and also as Captain Codipilly said. In the cruise industries, the numbers are largely increasing because more and more female seafarer representations there when you take a vessel compared to a normal conventional vessel. Yeah. So these things again has come back to the ship owners. So they like to take this challenge and they like to offer more and more job opportunities. So one example is one of the world leading tanker ship owner approached us to a new business. But apparently their business is very straightforward. When can you give a batch of 20 female cadets? When we are ready, they are ready to sign the agreement. They are the leading ship owner in the world, have highest number of female seafarers. Representation. It's about number is 200. Yeah. So the answer to your question, Veena, it's a lot of positive again, as to endorse what Captain Codipilly said. When we visit the client, so this is what they wanted. And so everybody wants to support the IMO initiative. In supporting, they know that there will be risk, there will be cost involved, but still they want to support this one. So that means there are job opportunities. The situation is there's a demand, as Captain Codipilly said, the doors are already open, but less supply if you take our country. As you know, third of Savina, we have only 5 female seafarers in our company. So the two are officers, one is a cadet, and other 2 are ratings. So with our active pool of, I would say, 1,500 plus. So this is how we are. But with these 5 people, what they have shown, client said, yes, Sri Lanka is a potential place to employ Sri Lanka. And of course, the appreciation goes to you as well.
Yes.
I think I answered.
Thank you, sir. Yes, thank you, sir. It's a good explanation. Yes, as you said, we know that currently women comprise only 2% of the 1.2 million of seafarers, but in the worldwide. But now it is no longer virtually impossible for them to enter to this industry, as you explained. So another questions that I will raise to the Capt.Rohan Codipilly. So we now know that there is an arduous task in the shipping industry on this field to fight as men for the females, to minimize the probability to replace by the men. The woman, what type of personality she should have to fight as a man on this industry?
Thanks, Veena. I'm smiling because of the wording. Let me say this way. Firstly, a company that has decided to take female seafarers would not do that lightly. They would take it a lot of consideration and a lot of background work, procedures, and stuff that they would want to do. So in such a company, if a particular lady seafarer is seen to be wanting and needs to be replaced, I'm fairly certain they would replace them not with a man, but with a woman. And I don't think that there is ever a situation of, okay, we try this girl out, but I'm having a man standing closely behind. If she fails it, push her out and put a man. That would not be a good company, I would say. And I would even go as far as to say there is not a company that you would want to be in, right? So
Okay.
company would take a lot of effort, and they would want to progress and build up this pool of lady seafarers, which really is a talent pool, which we haven't used as an industry for a long time. What attitude or what attributes must you have? Doing your best, honestly doing your best is, I would say, the foundation. This draws me back to when I went to sea. I am not a big made person. I'm a small made person, very slim, but I did my best. And this was appreciated by everybody else. And I don't think it's any different to a young girl. If you are doing your best, that will be acknowledged, and more than acknowledged, supported. Veena, what is your experience when you went? Was that the case that they were supporting you, or did you get the feeling they're waiting to chuck me out and get a mail in?
I had a problem like this, like problem of acceptance for myself. So because they've been a female, that they were thinking that I am not capable enough. So I have to work hard to prove it out. So I have to be so much initiative. Sometimes even they don't give me the some type of task, I have to do it myself to prove it what I'm capable of. So that's why I asked these questions: what kind of personality for the young females, females who is watching out there, they should have in their if they want to join this kind of field, maritime field.
Thanks, Veena. You made an interesting point that certain tasks are not given to you because I would say they are presuming that you cannot do it. Yeah, and that's also an advice that I would give a young girl. If there is a job that you know is part of your duty, go ahead and do it. Even if another male colleague offers to do it, thank the person politely, but say, no, I will do it. Yeah,
Yes.
if it's a physical job, whether it's climbing up, whatever it is, don't take the easy way out and let somebody else do your work. So you do what you know is your area of work, do it to the best, and then you will have acceptance. In your case, Veena, you were the very first person in the company.
Yeah, of course.
So, of course, I would say that took a lot of effort from your side, but I'm proud that you have made it happen, and today you're an officer. The people who come after you and much later on, the effort required slowly comes down. I would end it by saying, focus on yourself. Don't bother about other people. Do your best and do whatever job you know is your responsibility. Don't shirk your responsibility and let somebody else do it. Because that is not the way that you would get acceptance, not the way that you get experience, and not the way that you will get promotion. Do your area, and once anybody feels that you're doing your best, you will have the fullest support. Could Lieutenant Commander Anuradha say something about that?
Yes, when I was in the on board, then other female officers always given full support to discharge my duties as a logistic officer in the onboard ship. And they are working as a teamwork. They always give support, encourage me to deliver my duties in the every aspect, sir.
How many ladies were there at one time?
Uh, Sir, there are 2 lady officers and 6 women sailors are there, sir.
Okay, so you had it good, I would say, with so many ladies on board.
Yes, sir. They are almost sir.
Okay. Does that
Okay, sir.
answer your question, Rina?
Yes, I get a good explanation. Actually, now now I'm on the rank of third mate. So when they crew on board who when they see me as a professionals and they saw how good I am, so because I have proven it now, so I get a good explanation. Thank you, sir. So I will give my next question for the Lieutenant Commander Anuradha Perera again. So my second question for the Lieutenant Commander Anuradha Perera, I would ask, as a female, so you are working in the male-dominated stereotype field, and you are a successful example. And for the outside world to give a guidance what women are capable of, how you can describe that one?
Melina, working as a woman in the male-dominated field, even in the Sri Lankan Navy, it can be a challenge. But now I feel that it also be very rewarding.
Yes.
It shows that we are just capable as men in this environment. I know historically women rarely found in the ships as a part of the ship crew. However, there has been a gradual shift and more women are working in the various job roles in ships, including as an officer, an engineer, navigator, even a ship captain. If young ladies are willing to work at sea, she must have competence with the knowledge and knowledge about her job profile. When she has sound knowledge with any situation, and automatically she can gain the confidence. Confidence comes through the knowledge and experience. It's enable to individual to make decisions, asset themselves, and lead effectively even in the challenge situation. I think knowledge not only her job profile, she must have sound knowledge about that maritime safety and security, seamanship, and maritime laws and regulations, the maritime board handling, and that ship board handling, etc. When women are working in on board, she must capable with some skills. Leadership skill is most important. When she has these skills, she takes responsibility for their actions and inspire their team and demonstrate good decision making. And when women often develop strong problem solving skill, she can navigate any situations effectively. And effective communication is must for young to within team and when interacting with ship crew. And young females should understand importance of the teamwork and respective to different perspective and their ideas. And adaptability skills and proactive skills and good decision making skills are most important when young are looking to this field. Another thing is positive attitude is most valuable key to when women are finding dream in this field. She must have positive interest about her job role and always required positive interaction when working with others. Women, when this quality has with the women positive approaches, set goals for themselves, and work happily with others. And maritime field is physical demanding profession, I think, and it is required certain level of stamina, and stamina required within the physical and mental. Physical stamina is essential to perform duty effectively and safely. Mental stamina is most when we are working long hours at sea, isolation at sea. We require to take certain decisions. Therefore, women must mental stamina to handle any situation under the pressure. I think she must be a continuous learner. Always need to train. And I feel that maritime industry is continuously involved with the new technology and regulation and industry practice. So young women should thirst for the knowledge and willing to continue learn and adapt to the new trends. And when women look into the job in this field, she should be a hard worker. She always willing to work around the clock. Those are some key elements to when a woman should capable if she looking interest to the work at sea.
Yeah, okay, madam, thank you for good explanation on my question. So we know that women, the time have undeniably changed in the recent years, but determinations as a woman in the maritime industry is essential, as you said. Not only the physical ability, our mental ability also should be there. So we have to have the determinations, then we can overcome all the challenges. And my next questions I will raise again to the Lalith Ekanayake, sir, Mr. Lalith Ekanayake. So, sir, my second question that female have the work with stereotype people in this maritime field and have to work more to show their capabilities. And as the ship owner, how they can guarantee the job opportunity, job security for the females on the maritime field, job security.
Yeah. First to the answer, the first part, actually they don't need to work more to show their capabilities. Instead of actually they are getting their equal opportunities, which is the ILO regulation or ILO instrument, equal opportunities and treatment of seafarers, including women seafarers. So with an example, if I'm saying, now women in maritime, they are challenging the traditional gender stereotype situation. They are now challenging. So our female rating, who is on her first contract at sea. So the 2 months before, she was selected as the employee of the month on board a cruise vessel. So having a 700 or the crew. So this is a classic example. I can say yes. It's what they are showing their capabilities, not in what not in as a challenge to the male seafarers. The other one is, I think you touch upon a little bit. Many of the conventional vessels, there will be 1 or 2 female seafarers. So then the remaining all are male seafarers. So in that environment, this mental setup has come. Yes, 1 female seafarer, so she has to show more capabilities. The client whom I was discussing earlier, having 200 the female seafarers, So they are working on a strategy to man 4 of their tanker vessels with equal gender distribution. So equal amount of female seafarers to the men seafarers. By doing it, when you have a more female representation, then the problem what you are addressing, Veena, will not be there. That's what they are trying to eliminate. They have evaluated, they are expecting the financial consequences, but they are ready to face for it to support the increase in women seafarers. Then your next part of the question is the job security for the females. The readings indicated that and we all know there's a lack of seafarers globally. It's a concern. So the following with the IMO initiative is promoting more female seafarers. Ship owners are thinking more female participation might contribute to the problem of seafarers globally, the shortage of seafarers globally. But also they suggested how to move on is with the female seafarers is, first of all, the career opportunity. So that the ship owner, manager, and who are mentoring female seafarers should continue to support the female seafarer to continue on her career. Next one is employment continuity. Yeah, preferably under one employer. Or the other one is the continuity of employment. You are the classic example. You are with a one ship owner. Apparently, you came with some experience. So you want to continue your career. So we want to support you to continue your career. So we got you to the different employer. So these are the answers I can give it to you 2 questions. Have I covered?
Yes, thank you. It's a good explanation. Yes, as you said, today with the maritime industry is growing, and marine companies are turning to demographics that are underrepresented, especially for the women. So that's why they are looking more females as seafarers for the maritime field. My next question again, I will raise for the Lieutenant Commander Anuradha Perera. Madam, we know that over the last 2 decades, women have been breaking its stereotypes and foraying into the maritime field, creating their identity in the field. And so as a female representative you are of the Sri Lankan Navy, what you have to say about the job security, as I asked from the Mr. Lalith Ekanayake, job security in the Sri Lankan Navy for the females who watch out there and who is willing to join in your Sri Lankan Navy field.
Thank you, Mithuna. And Sri Lanka Navy has offered equal opportunity for both men and women to serve in motherland. And presently, women are working in executive, logistic, and civil engineering, legal, and medical branch as previously. In recent, Sri Lanka Navy has taken steps to attach women in on board and IPC handling and cost for and training for the para jumping and female participation for the diverse duty. Navy has taken decision to recruit more women to giving job opportunity, even male-dominated field, securing women's job opportunity. Within the Sri Lanka Navy can be seen gender equality in all areas such as promotions, foreign training, other benefits, especially medical and welfare, and opportunities such as join with the foreign missions and etc. And Navy try to secure women's job, and women are professionally, physically, mentally competent. She can keep and go rank of the high without considering the gender. And Sri Lanka Navy men and women are governed by same regulation published in 1972. Although women has given more privilege to special regulations such as Sri Lanka Navy Women Regulations. In the Navy Women Regulation, there is no time limitation to limitation is mentioned to serve in the same rank for the lady, considering her social responsibilities. And where the maximum time period to serve in the same rank has specially mentioned for the male cadre. And women are serving the Sri Lanka, women are serving the Triforces. They should have to retire after completing age of the 45, except the medical branch. Although now regulations are progressing to case up to age 45, similar to male officers giving job security to ladies who are serving the Triforces.
I think I get a good explanation. Thank you, madam. So from the audience, there is a question raised. So the question is, what do you advise to girls who are thinking about a career at sea? This question has raised for me. So I will give the answer. So anyone who is watching over this webinar today, so we are talking about the woman in maritime, and this is to give guidance and the awareness about the maritime field. So I warmly welcome all the females who are willing to join this field, because this is interesting, and from my side, I would say adventurous job. And so there are more commitment and more beneficial, unlike you are doing a shore job. So my advice, if you are determined enough and you are not only the physically, if you are mentally fit, you are warmly welcome to this field to join as female seafarers, and we are here to give our hand for you. And I will raise another questions for the Captain Codipilly again. So when we get females with the kind of, I think before we describe their personality, so you described before, so but they have challenges to face, even they have that kind of personality, challenges to face with social and cultural differences that imprinted for the mind of the male seafarers, and the outside people also, they have the cultural differences about this field. So as a male dominated field, so female seafarers, how they can face these challenges to minimize these imprinted cultural barrier, to avoid these cultural barriers. What kind of guidance that you can use, sir?
Sorry. I would say it's basically a need for more information for society to understand what seafaring is. And due to the lack of information, that misinformation goes around. Some years ago, Mercmarine did quite a series of programs on Rupavahini, where we addressed questions that society has about seafaring in general. At that time, we didn't focus on lady seafarers, but it was seafaring in general. What happens if you fall sick? How do you get money? What is your career? Is it socially acceptable? All this type of thing. And they were all in bite-sized small episodes. I think it was 15 minutes an episode. And most of these episodes were by seafarers and their families. So we need to get out and address questions that society has. That is one side of it. Now, the seafarer population, irrespective of whether it's male or female, in Sri Lanka has grown, with the result that more and more people will know seafarers as people, as brothers, as uncles, as neighbors. So you get to know them more and more. Same will be with the ladies. And then the more knowledge means more acceptance, I hope. And these barriers will slowly come down. If you don't mind, can I ask Captain Wahid for a comment or two on this? Captain Wahid, are you there?
Hi, Rohan, yes. Sorry, my mic was off. The thing is that I've been living now in Germany for about 12 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I have had a lot of exposure to the fact that here in Germany, women are treated more equally than in any other country.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact is that if people see how the German environment is, which both of you and Lalith and even Veena know, that there's a whole different aspect here, which I think a lot of the Western world has accepted. But actually, my interest is in knowing what Veena's experience is, because it's now about 9 years since I last saw her when she joined. And I'm quite pleased to see where she has, what she has done and what she has reached. So really, my question is, because the person who has the most experience here, I think, in female problems, working on ships in the merchant navy, is Veena, more than anybody else here. So please tell us about your experience, Veena. Sorry to bounce the question back.
Okay, sir. So thank you for giving me such a good explanations about me myself, and I will give answer for your question. So yes, you were right, and it took like 9 years to come to this position for me as a deck cadet. So my career started as a deck cadet from the well-known institute, Mercmarine, MSTI Institute, as a deck cadet officer. So my first vessel was a general cargo ships, and so as you asked for me, since I'm now 9 years experience on this field, it was quite good learning environment for me, because I learned a lot from this field, and I gained more courageous, and I got to know how to face the different type of challenges also, being a seafarer. And not only that, it developed my personality. Today, now I'm on the rank of third officer, and it's a quite good pride for me today, and for all the supported personals who behind me. I take this time to give a warm thank for them. And also I want to tell to the young seafarers who and the young males and females who are watching over here, please, if you are interested on this field, you can take your decisions to join this good environment, because now we have so many regulated things and so many regulations and so many laws to protect, and also the about the job security. And if I would say from my side, sometimes there was a tough time when I went through, but it is, I think, a good side, because it shows me who I am and how capable of I am. So I have to work like men sometimes to prove myself what I'm capable of. And I got a good knowledge, and here I am today speaking to you because of the experience I got. So I think, Captain White, are you okay with my answer, or you have to add something more?
No, I'm fine. Thanks. Very interesting. Quite interesting to hear about it from you. Thanks.
Thank you, sir. So, so we came to the end of the webinar. Our aim for about this webinar of the Nautical Institute was giving the awareness and the guidance for the young student who is watching over here, also the seafarers, and also the young female seafarers. So at the end, I would say women rising to become leaders in their industries now, and it is essential, and to inspire the future generations and show that there nothing is off limits. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and especially my thanks goes to the key speakers, Lieutenant Commander Anuradha Perera, and CEO from the Mercmarine, Sir, Mr. Lalith Ekanayake. Thank you very much for joining us today as a key speaker here. You have given the valuable guidelines and answers, and the Capt.Rohan Codipilly. Thank you for joining us with the today webinar Nautical Institute. So I hope we got to know quite well about the maritime field and the woman in maritime. And ladies and gentlemen, we came to the end of the webinar, and I would like to say, have a nice day. I think we end up the day with the nice sessions. So have a good night. Thank you.
Good night,
Thank
Reena,
you, everyone.
and everyone.
Good night.
Hello, sir.